Hey everybody, we're here live. This is try number 2 to make sure that the camera is flipped. It looks like it's corrected itself, so sorry about that. Um, but it is Wednesday and welcoming you here again to Spirit Wisdom Wednesday, where we let some spirit messages flow through. Again, my name is Meredith. If you are new to me, welcome to the Healing Hummingbird. I'm a certified shaman and Reiki healer. And through my heart-centered business, I help spiritual go-getters and other healers reclaim their power to heal themselves, transform their lives, and embody the way of the hummingbird in alignment with their life purpose, which is one of joy, lightness of being, peace, and a brave heart. So if you're here, comment below so I can see you. And if you hear something you like, press the like button. And if you hear something that you love, press the love button so that we know Spirit's messages are coming through. Okay, so today we are talking about repeating signs and synchronicities. And I don't know about you guys, but the energy lately, I'd say for the past 3 or 4 days, has been just like, blah! Like, it feels like I'm in the middle of a popcorn machine, just like big pops of energy all over the place, which is really good and beautiful, but it can feel kind of like, oh my gosh, and it can mess with technology, as we just saw. And hi, Dawn, thank you for joining us. And hi, Tiffany, I see your comment there. So with the repeating signs and synchronicities, sometimes when the energy is really big and bright like that, it can bring more synchronicities in. So if you're anything like me, you've been seeing a lot of them lately. And now Spirit already wants me to kind of hold my horses and go, wait a second, let's explain, what does that mean? What is a synchronicity? So the best way I can describe it is when you are aligned with synchronicities, life feels just like so fun. You walk around and seeing all these unusual things, like all these connections, and it has this like feeling of magic and wonder in your heart, like you're a child again. So the most common example I would say that I've heard people talk about with synchronicities would be repeating numbers. So maybe it's 1111 if you're looking at the clock, 111, 222, 333. This could also happen with your birth date, and my birth date just happens to be repeating, but sometimes I'll look at the clock and see 1212. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see the synchronicity there. It could also be other important dates, like maybe an anniversary or something like that, which can also mean that a loved one is popping in to say hello. But more about examples. Spirit keeps going, no, we need more examples. Don't get ahead of yourself. So another example of a synchronicity would be somebody just pops into your head and you're like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. I haven't heard from them in a while. You look down at your phone and you got a message from them. Or you check Facebook and they posted a status. So that's another synchronicity. And also they want me to share this really funny example. With my spirit team, I have somebody who is kind of funny. And sometimes the messages he'll deliver to me will rhyme, or he repeats things. So sometimes if you experience a synchronicity, it can be a spirit message from one of your guides. And a great example of this is earlier this week, I wrote a question down and I set it for them on my altar. And I was like, I really need help with this question. And it was a yes or no question. But it was something that I couldn't get my head to turn off about. So I felt like writing it down and just leaving it would really help. And I was driving through a parking lot later that day with the windows rolled down, and I passed 3 different groups of people. And I heard clear as day, each one of those people say in a row, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I was like, all right, I hear you, I hear you. The answer is not just yes, it's oh yeah. And the first time that I knew that one of my spirit guides repeats himself like that is kind of like, he knows I like to be teased, like I think it's funny, is last year, yeah, all the way last year, I was having a hard time, and I can't even remember what I said. It was like an emotional body thing. And I woke up going, I just need to know that you're there, Spirit. I really feel alone with this issue. I don't know how to get out of it. And I think I actually got kind of frustrated, and I was like, hello, is anybody there? About an hour later, I heard clear as day a man's voice going, hello, hello, hello. And I was like, okay, you're here. I heard your message. Thank you for your patience, spirit guides. So now that we've got an idea of what synchronicities and what repeating messages can look like, sound like, feel like, let's get into what Spirit wanted to talk about with what that can mean. Now, every single message is different, but these are just some ideas that they wanted to give you. So the number one thing that can happen with kind of like casual synchronicities, and I'll give you another example for like a more casual one, would be you are in the flow. You've arrived. You are in the flow of the universe. And isn't that an awesome place to be? So a funny, I don't know why I just keep thinking this is funny. I keep thinking of my spirit guide. But I call this the echo effect. And I just heard this earlier today. I will be talking with someone, so maybe like my mom, and we'll have the TV on in the background. And the last word that either I say or she says, let's say it was weekend. I think that is what it was. Maybe we can go this weekend. Someone on the TV immediately says weekend. So it's like weekend. And it's like, whoop, whoop. So I take that to mean, and Spirit is telling me that that is correct, that you're just in the flow. You're hearing these little echoes. You're seeing things kind of line up and seeing these little previews of how interconnected everything is in the universe, which is really beautiful. Another thing that signs and synchronicities that repeat can mean is Spirit reassuring you that you are in the right place at the right time. And that can be more obvious with kind of physical signs, like if you're walking or you're hiking and maybe a chipmunk runs across your path, like right in front of your feet. That can sometimes mean Spirit is going, hey, we wanted to reassure you that you are in the right place at the right time. And I tend to get a lot of those messages when I'm expressing to my guides that I'm unsure about something. They'll send me these things that I know, well, that chipmunk almost crossed across my feet. So I know that I was in the right place at the right time to perceive that sign. A third one, and they gave 4 overall, but as you know, I like to leave it open so they may interject with more, is that Spirit is just saying hello. So this could be a loved one in spirit that's saying hello. Maybe there's a sign or something that you associate with them. Maybe it's like coins that you find around, or even just hearing their name can be another one. But sometimes Spirit's just saying, you're not alone. We are with you. We hear your messages. Are you hearing ours? Like it's a two-way conversation. So they just want you to know that if you're talking to Spirit and you're asking questions, they're not just going to go, boop, and hang up the phone without saying anything else. Sometimes they'll send you a sign later on that they know that you're going to see. And then the fourth one hits different for me, which is sometimes they will send you repeated signs when something needs to integrate. That's not integrating. So an example of this would be an animal messenger keeps showing up. Like if you see a snake like 5 days in a row, the snake needs to tell you something. That Spirit's saying you're not quite getting the snake. Let's show her the snake a couple more times to make sure she sees. And that can also point to the importance of a message too. So, you know, you really want to look up that snake. You can even do like a meditation with the snake and the snake's energy to make sure you're integrating the message. But my example of this is I've been putting off this project that I know I need to do, but I have some kind of block where I have started to tell myself, oh, this is so difficult, or oh, I just don't understand this. When really, like, how true is that at a certain point? When it's gone on for a certain length of time, I'm like, I feel like maybe I'm being called out here. But a very dear friend of mine who is watching, she knows who she is, she just reached out to me the other day and kind of like poked me because she knows about this project I'm working on, and she's like, why isn't it done? I'm just curious. And I knew that was Spirit talking to me through her, going, yeah, that thing that we're working on, let's keep working on it. Let's just keep going. So, you know, sometimes Spirit will give you a push. You know what I mean? They'll kind of go, okay, well, we need to get going. And there's only so long that at least my guides, the type of guides that I have attracted because of my personality, there's only so long that they will kind of put up with my bullshit just to be super authentic with you. With, you know, I have a million excuses. I'm good at coming up with them. I know I am, and they know I am too. So at a certain point, they will start reaching out to me in different ways that go, no, you need to get real about this. We need to get going. So those are the 4 main messages of synchronicities. And again, I've been seeing these a lot lately. Sometimes I think maybe it's a May thing. May just feels kind of like a different energy for me. But let me know if you agree here. Let me just check in. Okay, great. Lola says the video's better, that it turned around. Awesome. Okay, and Dawn says, are 3s, or the repetition of 3 messages, significant? Definitely. And the energy of a 3, it almost has kind of a magical feeling for me. And my first instinct would be to ask if there is a specific meaning for 3 for you, if 3 show up in your life in a specific way, if it has to do with like, a birthday, or like a number of relationships, or like a number of siblings or kids or something like that. Sometimes that can be a root of a message. Is that it's always helpful to look up numerology, right? Like that's pretty easy to do. But if you could look at how 3 shows up kind of like in basic details about you, that can be really helpful. So again, that could be, for some reason, like first initials are coming to mind. So maybe you have like a certain number of people in your family whose name starts with the same letter. So that could be another clue. But yeah, let's see. I'm feeling like we should pull a card about that. And they're having me go with animals. Let's see. So 3 for Dawn. And again, this will be different for everybody. Numerology always helps, but there's so many cool and interesting patterns within like your family and within like your history that can be really insightful, or Spirit can be really insightful with pointing out those sequences to you. 3 is multiple of 9, which is my favorite number. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what they want to say to Dawn about the number 3. Oh, we got buffalo. And the buffalo is all about connecting with Spirit and grounding. So, and there was lightning on that and the color purple. So I would say for you specifically, Dawn, they are talking to you about big realizations, big downloads from Spirit, and abundance too. Okay, so let's get started with our week ahead readings. As always, I would love for you to just take a moment to clear your mind with me. We'll take a couple deep breaths in together so that we can really choose which group holds your message for this week. Okay, so if you could just, you're in a comfortable space to do this, just close your eyes and take a deep breath in and a slow exhale out. Then just invite your spirit guides in close to you and ask which group holds your message for the week ahead. Now, this could come in as a visual. You could either see 1, 2, or 3. You could just know it's 1, 2, or 3. You could hear it. Just so you know, you could perceive it in a couple different ways. But I do have crystals again this week. So for group number 1, this is the crystal. This is a golden clear quartz. They call it the golden healer, which I thought was really beautiful. Group number 2, you have a rose quartz, tumbled stone. And group number 3, for some reason they wanted me to grab this gigantic selenite tower. just kind of funny. Okay, that's the selenite tower. All right, so now that you have your group from Spirit, let's start with group number 1 with the golden healer. And they want to start off with these divine feather messengers this week. But if we need some clarification, I've got a couple other decks here too. So let's see, group number 1. Spirit, what do we need to know for the week ahead for group number 1? What would be most helpful? Oh, we've got a couple that fell out here. Okay. We have Blue Jay. The time is right to access and master your abilities. Do so with humility and control. We have the Vulture, which has a special meaning to me of nothing is wasted with the Vulture. Now you got 3, so let's get them all out here, and then I'll see how Spirit wants to integrate all these messages together. And then we have the Blackbird. The magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. So group number 1, there's a real transformational energy that's around you right now. And Spirit wants to let you know that there's something in your toolbox, they say, that maybe you haven't accessed in a while. So this could just be like a skill. And this doesn't have to be like, a work skill. It could be like a life skill. Maybe this has to do with feeling more balanced physically. Let's see. They're also talking about the color blue, which is your throat chakra. So I'm feeling like there's something that needs to be released right here, actually, for you. And especially since you have the golden healer here. Yeah, this is feeling really restricted. So they're talking about doing a visualization at night of you in bed, and specifically for your throat chakra, they want you to envision a golden lotus blooming right out of your neck. And it blooms so big and so wide that it takes up all of your energetic field, all of the room, all of the house. That was a beautiful visualization they just gave there. And so they're making me feel like something needs to blossom here, like something needs to be said or something needs to be released. And it almost feels like I'm allowing myself to do something again. So an example that comes to mind for me would be painting. Sometimes I can get stuck in, well, I want the painting to look a certain way. Or, well, if I don't have a specific place to hang it after I do it, I don't know if I want to do it. Which is just kind of like excuses, right? For how good it makes me feel to paint and really express that. So maybe there's some element of that here. But I feel like, again, for group number 1, there's something, once you remove this block, there's something that you can tap into that's pretty powerful and really beautiful. And they're talking about, if you've heard the phrase, they're saying the phrase zone of genius. If you've heard of that, it's kind of like a zone of genius would be something that you are just born good at doing, something that's just easy. It could be you're a great communicator, you're a great artist, you're a great writer, you're really great at putting words to things. Maybe you're a lyricist or something like that. But again, Spirit is saying, once this block is removed, you will be able to tap into that. And sometime in the next week, there's going to be some kind of opportunity for you to use that. So they're wanting you to go ahead and do the visualization, the golden lotus visualization, so that your energy will be primed and ready to go once that opportunity crosses paths with you, which is really beautiful. And then one more thing, they did want me to hit on this vulture again, which I feel like is a really misunderstood animal, because they're often, at least around in my area, I see them a lot. And, you know, they eat dead stuff, which can kind of come off as kind of gross. But the beautiful message about the vulture, which is really special to me specifically, is that nothing is wasted. No experience is wasted. So if you're in some kind of situation where you just feel like, oh, I wish I would have gotten out of this sooner, I've wasted so much of my time, Spirit's saying, no, nothing was a waste. Nothing goes to waste. There's always something beautiful that we can learn and take from that experience. So Spirit's inviting you to take a closer look at a situation you might feel has been a waste. They're assuring you it has not been a waste, and you're on the right track. So those were your messages. Group number 1 with the Golden Healer. I hope that resonated, and I will see you next week. Okay, moving on to group number 2. If you were drawn into this rose quartz, we're going to go ahead and get your week ahead messages from Spirit with the feather deck. All right. And group number 2, it does feel like there's some self-love and self-care that's going on for you. And I'm hearing the word gentleness for you. So maybe Spirit's saying, we want you to be gentle with yourself. Okay. The first card you got was Nuthatch. These are adorable. I see these in my yard all the time. They're one of my favorites. Stay grounded and welcome the knowledge and perspective coming to you. Ooh, interesting. Let's see what else they have to say about that. We got another one. Ooh, white turkey. That's an exciting one. The power to heal the earth is within you. Wow. Okay, and I'm feeling like we're stopping at 2. Oh, and this is group 2. 2-2. Maybe 2 or repeating 2s is going to come up for you. If it does, you'll know that it's related to this message in the week ahead. Okay, group number 2. Yeah, I'm really feeling like in your heart center, like there's some self-care going on. Maybe there's some healing that you've done recently that you're keeping up with, like kind of doing maintenance on. And they're showing me pink roses, which is really beautiful. And I'm also feeling, they're talking about like a maternal relationship. So this doesn't literally have to be a mom, but it could be you feeling maternal about someone else. So this could be like a mother-child, or someone that felt like a mother to you, or even like a mentor. They're bringing up this relationship, saying that there's opportunity for you to heal something for yourself. And I feel like I'm separate from the situation. So it's not like Spirit saying, oh, go talk to this person. They're making me feel like it's my work by myself to heal my heart. Okay, so that was just a message that came in for you, group number 2. They're saying to stay grounded. The nuthatch is saying, stay grounded and welcome the knowledge and perspective coming to you. So maybe your perspective will shift about this relationship that they're talking about, this maternal tie. This could also be grandmother. So maybe there will be some kind of realization there when you start reflecting and doing that heart work. And once that perception shifts, I feel like it's just going to be like this, oh, like and then everything just feels so much lighter. And then with the white turkey, the power to heal the earth is within you. Okay, so I'm feeling like if this is resonating with you, the message about the maternal tie, the maternal relationship, maybe it's been made clear to you, or you felt in the past like there's this block in this relationship and the other person's not willing to work on it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So maybe you felt like, well, what can I do if this person won't work with me? What am I supposed to do? Spirit's saying they don't have to work with you. You actually have the power to heal the whole dang thing yourself. And they're saying that would be really beneficial for you, that there's something in your heart space that could be released that would really help you with your self-care. And along with being grounded, they're also wanting to remind you to take your time and be gentle with yourself and kind to yourself. And again, they're bringing up this word reparenting. Sometimes I don't really remember the readings from week to week because with channeling, it can kind of affect your memory if Spirit's just talking. But I feel like they've brought that up a couple times, reparenting. So maybe you got that message last week too, and that's what an appropriate thing on the week we're talking about synchronicities and repetitive messages. So maybe there is some reparenting that you could do for yourself to really give yourself that gift of peace and love. And it just feels like once this is done, it feels like you'll really step into that vibration of like a more feminine vibration of receiving. And I just feel like I'm going to take this deep breath and I'm going to be able to go to sleep. So maybe that will be a synchronicity for someone here. If you've had trouble sleeping, this will help you sleep, taking care of this. Okay, so these are your messages for the week ahead, group number 2. I hope that resonates. And I wish you a speedy healing with your heart space and the rose quartz. And I will see you next time. All right, for group number 3, if you picked this gigantic selenite tower, here is your week ahead message. Okay. So out of the Spirit Oracle, Spirit Feather Oracle, let's see, one already came out. Spirit, man, I'm really tripping over my words. What does group number 3 need to hear about the week ahead? Maybe there's been a communication difficulty that you're dealing with, or having a hard time finding the words to say something. Maybe someone around you is acting like that. Let's see. Okay, group number 3. First, we got the white eagle. The connection to divine guidance is within you. Wow, that's beautiful. And then we also have the goose. Your dreams and desires are calling you to action. The journey begins today. So I'm feeling a real need with the white eagle, kind of similar to group number 2. Maybe you were drawn to 2 and 3. I'm feeling a need to tap into my heart space, and they're saying your why. So like WHY. So Spirit's inviting you to tap back into the reason why you've started something. And with the white eagle, it feels like something pretty big. It feels like something that is related to your life path. And it feels like a spiritual awakening. And maybe there's been some setbacks or some difficulties along that path. Maybe you've started a business, maybe you've started a new partnership or accepted a new position wherever you work that felt really good at the moment, felt really in alignment, but now it's more challenging. Or you're kind of running into blocks like, well, I'm not really sure how I'm going to make this work. And Spirit's saying, remember your why, remember your heart, why we decided to do this as a team. you and your spirit guides, because they also want to remind you that we're in this together. This is your spirit guides talking to you. That, you know, it's not just a one-person job, it's a team. It's a team job. And they would love for you to invite your spirit guides into your daily tasks that feel heavier, that feel more challenging, because they're saying, we can help you lighten your load and get connected to that why, that life purpose, that kind of heartbeat of the matter. Oh, that's beautiful. The heartbeat of the matter, they say. And they can just help things kind of go more smoother. They're showing me this bumpy road and it's smoothing out. It's smoothing out. And that you're moving in the right direction. And that a challenge doesn't necessarily mean, oh, it's a sign that this isn't for me. You know what I mean? Like when you come across a challenge, it's not always a reason to take it as a spiritual message and just kind of take a back seat or give up. They really want you to continue through, to persevere with them, and from a place of love, from a place of divine love, light, and healing, which is so appropriate with the Selenite tower. With this tower also, they're talking about the need to purify or detox. And so maybe drinking really healthy, clean smoothies in the morning would be good for you, would make you feel really good energetically. Epsom salt baths are also really great for this. You could burn sage, you could burn holy wood in your space. You could even purify and kind of detox the energy of your home with noise or with music. So if you have tingshas or a singing bowl, or you could even just like, you could clap your hands. I know that sounds kind of strange, but if you do that in the corners of the room, it can kind of wake it up a little bit. And they're showing me an image of you opening the doors and the drapes, flinging those back to let the light in, and the windows open to let air circulate through. And they're going into a lot of detail about this. So maybe this is something that you've thought about doing, or maybe you're in the middle of decluttering. That could also be really helpful for you. But they're reminding me of this technique, group number 3, that could help purify and get things circulating again with water. And what you would do, like if I wanted to do it in this room, I have a sink in front of me, and there's kind of a bathroom off to the side that has another sink and a tub. I would turn all those faucets on all at the same time and open up the windows and doors. And since water amplifies spiritual energy, it will help get things up and out, kind of like in the middle of the air. Say if they're like settled on the floor or up in the corners of the ceiling, it'll kind of all bring it here. And then with the windows open and the doors open, it has a direction to go. It has somewhere to go. So that was super detailed. Hopefully that helps. Let's see if they have any other messages with the goose here. They really are fixated on this white eagle. So maybe the eagle is really significant for you, group number 3. With the goose, okay, your dreams and desires are calling you to action. Okay, so maybe this is the action that they are suggesting that you take. That you start with these couple steps to kind of reset, right? Like a detox is like a reset. So you can do that with yourself physically and with your space energetically. And that'll help you get connected to your heart, to your why. Why am I doing this? And let me get reconnected to that. And it's like reinvigorating yourself to keep going even if it gets challenging, to just know that Spirit's leading you the way. And they're showing me this V, you know how geese fly in that beautiful V. And they're saying they are right there. They're right there. All of you are in the V together. It's not just you by yourself. You don't have to figure out everything by yourself. And that they're right here to help. Okay, Group number 3, that was your message with the beautiful Selenite tower. Thank you all again so much for being here. Again, let me know what you think in the comments about the repeating signs and synchronicities and about your week ahead messages. I'd love to hear it. And I will see you next week. Sending you so much love and light. Take care.